All right. Okay.
We are rolling video.
All right.
Video's rolling.
We're on.
Hopefully it's not too far to the right.
We're on. We're so on.
It's happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's happening. I'm gonna do a little clap
Okay.
just so that the sync
clap?
is easy. Yeah.
Why do you want to do a clap?
Just so the sync is easy.
Oh.
So I can sync it.
All right.
Here comes the clap. 3,
Here
2,
comes
1.
the clap. That's not something you want to hear.
Here comes the clap.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. Like
not-
the venereal disease.
That's not appropriate.
Yeah. No, it's not appropriate. Not for children.
Not for children. Who we are primarily talking to. Hello, child.
Hi, children. Hello. We are in a bunker. We're not in a bunker.
No.
This is Adam.
You abandoned that joke really quickly.
I did. It wasn't good. It wasn't. I knew it wasn't gonna work.
My name is Adam.
I am Julie, and we are the writers and creators.
Yes.
That sounds cool. We are
Yes.
the writers and creators of an original musical
The musical is called. Do you want to say it?
together.
Yeah. Fine.
Right. It's
called
called
Find
Find the
the
Words.
Words. That's what it's called.
Find the Words. I thought it would be a funny joke if we couldn't
Right.
find a way to say the words together at the same time.
Right.
Find the
You got to
words.
look for them.
I was just telling Adam that we just turned off the air conditioner, as
Just
well
'cause
as
it's
the
fanny.
fans. Just because it was fanny, says Adam. So
it's-
we just turned that off.
So the sound is good.
You guys let me know if I get some pit stains.
Yes.
Because I'm wearing light blue, and when you wear light blue,
See, you got to wear black.
I didn't.
Right.
Because I have a light aura. I
Yeah?
wanted to project that
I'm
onto the children.
I'm more of a fall. That's the show. If
So,
you
yeah.
have any questions
Yes.
about it, I'm sure you have many.
And we're going to do like a live thing. Yeah?
Yeah.
So they can ask whatever we say. We will be live to answer your questions. So you guys can, so you guys can ask like during, like while you're watching this, hey, what did you guys mean by whatever?
So the thing about
yeah.
that, maybe I'll put this bit at the beginning so that they
Oh, yeah, we can do that.
I'll put us talking about this
Yeah.
at the very so you're watching this hello beginning of the video.
Wait. So do you want to like redo? Do you want to do like a thing like that?
No, it's okay.
No, yeah, because then
That-
we look like it's at the end.
Right.
Yeah, because we're like sweaty. Well, I am. So we're like, welcome. We can't do that. We can't. We now have to leave all this in
Right.
because we're being honest.
Right. And that's what writing is about. Honesty.
Honesty.
Honesty, ladies and gentlemen.
So
speaking of the clothing, I do want to mention
Yes.
this is you can get this right now at Dot merch I'm selling. No, it's got a
Yes.
bird on it, which is important
yes,
because
birds are important. Birds are important. The
birds are good things.
wings and airplanes, aircraft of all
Flying.
kinds, birds flying, things that are airborne, and
Yeah.
and things that
Are
are
not
susceptible
airborne.
to gravity, which is everything that's airborne.
Right.
Takes a lot of energy to
To fly.
lift an airplane to the sky, or a person.
Took a while to get the physics right, you know? Out of the, hundreds of thousands of
It didn't
years.
take physics long. Physics got itself right pretty quickly.
Right.
But for us,
Correct.
it took us a while
It took us a while to get the physics.
to get to
Correct.
understand. To get someone tell me how to get it right.
Someone tell me how to get it right.
That's not in the show. Why would you?
That was not a line
why would
that
you
we
think
wrote
that
in
that
the
was
show.
a line in the show? What? Just because it sounded a little bit scripted? That's no.
Oh my goodness.
We didn't do that. So
This is a musical about flying, if you haven't noticed. In many ways.
all kinds. Yeah. Learning how.
Learning how to fly,
Um,
the difficulties of
of flight.
the amount of energy it takes to fly.
The amount of energy it takes to land
Yes.
is the amount of focus that it takes to land as well. I always think about like, it's funny because I always think about like Olympic figure skaters and like
Yes.
what is more important? Is it the, triple axle or the landing?
Right.
Like nobody cares about the triple axle
if you can't land
if you
it.
can't land. And so it's like, you can get airborne, but like the true skill is in like not, smashing to a bloody pulp.
Right.
So that's not in it. We promise.
We're not. Yeah. There's
no.
You're right.
It is. There is. We do have Amelia Earhart.
Referenced. She's not a character.
Who arguably she was arguably the greatest pilot.
Aviator.
Yes. Who ever lived, and she. The cool thing about her is that she went from sort of passenger to pilot. Right. And that's kind of a cool parallel that you can draw in life when you go from passenger to pilot, and vice versa.
We all do. That's the human experience. Is you learn, you mentor under, and then you pilot the plane.
Yeah, and it's
that is your life.
And some people have a co-pilot, and some people are, some people
are the co-pilot.
Yeah, and some people want to just sit back and eat some peanuts and call it a day. So anyway,
let's talk about. Do you want to talk about our characters?
A little bit. So this is a. We've never really like formally done this because we like already love our characters. Because when you create, I was saying earlier, we should talk about. Yeah. This is not our first foray into trying to write something. No. This is like our first thing that we've ever actually, as a team,
sort of done
as a writing team, written,
yes,
like all the way through. But it's not the first thing that we did. The first thing that we did was based on an existing book.
Yes.
And that was a very different experience because you don't really get to create. You get to
there's a different relationship.
Yeah.
There's a different relationship you have with that story and with the characters because that's not your original plot.
Your baby.
Right. Yeah. And as a first, as you said, foray into writing something.
Foray.
Yes. As a first sort of experience writing a work, many people do adapt because it can be, it's hard to come up with stuff, but for us, this sort of process has been, I think just more successful because it allows us to do more of what we want to do.
It's been much easier to come up with things.
Which is counterintuitive to me.
Yeah, than it ever was to try and retell, probably because we're writers.
Yeah.
There are, I think that, one of my favorite things. I'm like I love film in general, and since we wrote this and essentially as a filmed, which we'll talk about in a second too, as a filmed thing, like one of my favorite things is like best adapted screenplay, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do that. Like I don't know if that's maybe, but it's like such a different process in the brain.
It is.
It could. I don't think we can really. I can't really say. I don't know if you can. I don't know if I can say I'm this kind of writer or I'm that kind of writer until we're like 5 shows deep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely.
Once we're like 5 shows deep, then I can be like, I am. Yes.
Oh, I know how to.
I think I am, and then I would say for now.
Well,
because
that sheds a lot of light on how we work and how we have worked on this project, because I have always thought of myself as like an arranger and like an orchestrator in terms of music. Like that's my jam. And like,
I love parody.
Right. And that's the other thing is that I've written, that's
we both have done that.
Yeah.
I think that we have that in common is we've both done parody a lot. If you guys don't know what parody is, it's when you take like an existing thing, like an existing song, and you
just kind of
rewrite the lyrics and make it funny, and
it's usually a comedy thing. Think Weird Al Yankovic. Or...
Yeah. Or like a any kind of what?
Sorry, I'm just thinking about your headphones.
Oh, are they?
Are they perhaps
My headphones. Why would you tell them that?
Well, I'm sorry to break the illusion.
Listen, we're going to be very honest with you guys. And the reason why I'm wearing headphones is for aesthetic purposes because he's wearing Stop. All right.
I forgot to bring my headphone splitter and I felt bad.
So I thought I'd put them on anyway because I didn't want to look like the odd man out. I mean, I didn't want to look like I would look unofficial.
You look very official, Julie.
I would look like I walked off the street and just decided to talk about this musical.
Well, you didn't. Because you wrote it with me.
Yeah. So we had, we both look very, very official. Right. So our characters.
Let's talk about our characters because I love everyone from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah. We have gone through a very interesting process, and I think for the explanation for this project, we said something like talked about like Scooter and
as one example.
Said something like that's so something Scooter would do. That's something like would they do that? Like would she do that?
You really get to learn characters and feel for characters. Even, early on we were having conversations planning out this whole web of characters that,
by the way, connect. All of that stuff is like gone. Like everything.
I mean, not everything.
Like almost everything. So many things were rewritten and
But that's the awesome thing is that we had conversations where it's like even though we can't really see these characters visually, we can hear them. We know what they would do.
We know them.
We know how they would react because you do know them.
Yeah.
You know them.
They are as real as any people that we would actually know in life. And there's I know I've mentioned this before, but there's that scene in Harry Potter. Remember
right.
Yeah, the scene in Harry Potter, and I won't ruin it just in case any weirdos haven't seen Harry Potter, but there's but there's a scene where someone will say is asking a question, and that someone says, "Is this all?" I'm not going to do the accent because I do it so well. I don't want to embarrass anyone else.
Our wonderful dialect coach, Mr. Lee.
Yes, so I'm so good at it. This person says, "Is this all real, or is it all happening inside my head?" And the response is, "Of course, it's happening inside your head. Why does that mean it's not real?" And that's something that we have going on in the show as well, where
it's a good philosophy to sort of play with.
Yeah, we have little moments here and there where you'll wonder, like you can play that out in a lot of different ways. You can play that out in like an imagined way where somebody says to themselves, "If I, then they," know, if they, then I, you have this, plan, this like nightmare scenario. And we play a little bit with, is this real or isn't this real? And, we'll
not too much.
Yeah.
But it's a part of the show.
It is a part of the show. It's a part of the show. And because I love
leaving
any
things
sort of psychological question where you're not sure, but even as the viewer, even as the listener of the show, you accept certain things to be true.
Right.
You just, because that's the world that, that has been created for you. So certain things are just the way that they are.
And as the creators of the thing, we know all the answers, right? So we
all the trivia.
Right.
Yeah.
So we like to sort of give you things as the audience to sort of have, and then we like to
little nuggets
later on in the show. Yes, little nugs.
Little nugs. Yeah.
So do you want to start chronologically, like in order of appearance? Because we can then start with Terrence.
We can do we can do that. We can start with let's try and start with the characters that we first conceptualized, because Terrence was first.
Terrence was definitely first because I had written the song that he sings like before we even knew what this concept was. We were tossing around ideas of like, okay, maybe there's kids, maybe they have an essay to write.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay,
we're trying to come up with things that we could do for social distancing.
Yes.
Trying to, to do that. Go ahead.
Yeah. So after bouncing around some ideas, we came across this premise where they had this assignment they have to do. So I was just like, okay, we'll write a song. So I wrote the essay. I'm not sure if that's what it ends up being called, the song that Terrence sings, which is sort of the first.
Actually, interestingly enough, like when I was, because I hoard the libretto, because when I write the book, it's like you're like that too with your music, because where you go, I gotta wait until before I show you.
Yeah,
like we can't show each other. We can show each other like a little seed or whatever sometimes, where we go, hey,
what if this?
What if this?
If you want to be a writer, by the way, that's the question to ask. Don't ask, can I? Ask, what if? Yeah. And then you'll find the answers to what you want to do. That's how we work. Yeah. That's how successful writers work. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Because can is a weird question, which
no
one can answer that for.
Right.
You're the only one who can answer that. So if you're asking, all you have is doubt. So there's, so if anybody is listening to this and thinking about writing, which I think there probably will be people who have at least, a scene or like a song or maybe a parody or something that is something along the lines of anything in the realm of theater or musical theater or even film, it's useful to ask, what if I do this instead of can I do? Well, sure you can. Yeah. I mean, is it a thing? Then do the thing. But
is it a thing? Do it. You can do it.
But the essay came first, and it's funny because the name of the song changed.
Right.
And then I thought, I don't want to touch that because it's special to me. Because it was how everything sort of
I almost happened. Thought the name of the show was going to be the essay.
That's what, we thought that. And we thought that it would be, and in our heads, I think in a way it still is.
Yeah.
And maybe, like still kind of like if when you're in the workshop stages, like maybe it can change at some point or whatever, or like like a subheading or something like the essay or like an the essay or like find the words or what really happened to Amelia Earhart, you know, like some kind of, so we're never like necessarily like married to titles or anything like that, but we did the other day talk about like how we want the songs to look like a soundtrack.
Yeah. We like even cool early on, we like to kind of have kind of this outline of the order in which the songs go.
I just thought of something, and Larry, I just want to tell you because we're being honest. So earlier,
we're gonna get to the characters in a second.
We're gonna get to the characters right now. So earlier, I was saying, why don't we do like a fun thing, like a podcasty fun thing, where we like say, oh, like let's say, like the names of our characters, and then tell everyone what kind of ice cream flavor they would like. And literally, what I was just thinking in this just like one instant, this one moment, because I was listening to the whole time, I promise.
Of course, no, yeah.
But in this one instant, I was like, Avery, which is it's probably we love Avery.
Yeah. I know she's maybe your favorite.
In my, why?
I love it because you were gonna say that.
I don't know. I think she's very fallible, and I like that. I like people who try to help and it doesn't work because there is a moment like that, and there's because in a show you always feel like when somebody's like, when someone's trying to help someone, when it's not about them, it always works out because it's like, the lesson they learn is that it's like about helping other people. And this is like, no, like, help yourself.
Yeah.
Like, don't forget yourself. But I was thinking was Avery's favorite ice cream flavor is Rocky Road because guys, she is going through a rocky road,
guys,
to get to the end of this show.
It's rocky.
It's Rocky.
So
Rocky Road.
So Terrence was the first character
Yes,
we had
yes.
we had,
Back to that.
we wrote
We
wrote.
righted.
we righted.
We writ.
And we wrote this. So I wrote the song.
Yeah.
There was a lot of back and forth about what sort of the song is as sort of a demo song for the show, like demo sort of I Want song. That was kind of a nice solo number.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
And we both kind of loved it. I wanted to share it with everybody because I was so proud of it. Mm-hmm. And then we just started finding other angles to come at sort of barriers to being able to get work done. Mm-hmm. That's sort of what we mean when we have this metaphor of flying. That means a lot of things, and one meaning of that is like the idea of like success. Yeah. And the idea of like being
smooth sailing.
And like how hard that can be for some people. Yeah. Just in daily life.
Privilege.
Yes.
In general, sort of explored, and
exactly.
There's another thing that we were talking about too, which was that like the whole next week thing, where we say, oh my gosh, this week is so busy. Next week will be so much better. And it never comes. Right. Because that next week, even if it is less busy, you're thinking about the following week and you go, oh my God, next week is going to be so busy. But you're not thinking, this week is so nice. Mm-hmm. Like we're never thinking about, you're always thinking about the next. Yeah. So you're always thinking, which is in the show. You're always thinking about the next thing that you need to get through. Mm-hmm. But the reason why you're thinking about that thing is because you want to get to smoother sailing. You want to get to clearer skies, but you never enjoy it when it's there.
And
you're
every
just
character
thinking about the next thing that you're going to have to get through to get to what you want to get to. But then when you get there, again,
you're already
it's just a broken record. Yeah. So that's something that we explore as well. With one of our favorite characters. Yes, one of our favorite characters, whose name is Sal. You don't see a Sal very often.
No, you don't.
Unless you're like, it's like at your favorite like calzone joint. Like,
let's go more organized, Julie. Let's go character by character.
All right, Terrence.
We're introducing. So Terrence is a wonderful character. Yes. Who we wrote the first song for.
Don't call him Terry. Call him Rents.
He likes Rents.
He likes to be called Rents, and you can make jokes about it. You can say Rents do, and maybe a good joke as well.
What was the other one? Lather, rinse, repeat.
Yeah. There's also I don't remember what the next one is, but there's several really bad jokes. But he does not like Terry because Terry is the cool aunt.
Yes,
Adam. Terry is the cool aunt, and he doesn't want to be the cool aunt.
He doesn't want to be the cool aunt.
It's not who he is. He did not just.
Why can't you just call somebody what they want to be called?
That is a huge theme in the show.
Why can't you just call somebody what they want to be called? Terry says to his mom,
what's his name?
Rents. Terrence.
We call him Terrence. Sometimes we still call him Terry, and we feel contrite. Right. We feel bad when we say that. When we say something about our characters that they don't want said, we feel bad.
This, of course,
brings us to
Terrence's sibling.
Jordan.
Who we love dearly.
Who is probably altogether, Jordan is probably my favorite character because they exemplify something that I have not seen in musical theater, which is a true non-binary character. Yeah. And when we say true non-binary character, we mean that, and we're very proud of this, the character is written to be played by any gender, agender, non-binary,
the vocal range is written to be...
The vocal range is right in the middle on purpose. And the most important thing is that they never get misgendered in the show. We had moments where we misgendered Jordan.
And in rehearsals, there are sure to be times where Jordan is misgendered.
Where Jordan is misgendered. And it teaches us that we can change our vocabulary for the sake of progress because it's happened throughout history. And it's like doing the work that takes, I think, is very noble and very cool. And
very necessary.
And very necessary. And I think musical theater is such an important area for that. And not just the work, but the rehearsal space.
Yeah.
Because
as a safe space to be able to not only make mistakes that are inevitable, but recover from that and like actually learn and grow as a person. Yeah.
Which is, I think, what musical theater is about completely. Right. So Jordan has taught us, Jordan has been a lot more transformative for us, I think, as people in terms of gendering and making sure, like, I don't know about you, but I'm much more, I know people who are non-binary. Yeah. And I feel a lot more confident that I'm not going to misgender anyone after Jordan, because Jordan has made me feel like it's now part of just my vernacular, and it's easier for me to just use they in that kind of way. And part of the reason for that is because we've written them and we've written for them, and nobody in the show ever misgenders Jordan. So even if there is some kind of perceived assigned gender,
it's never,
people come close.
But it's left open for them to be able to be played by
anyone. Absolutely anyone. And
that goes for all characters in terms of race as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and also there's no reason why there are some siblings in the show, and there's no reason why they need to look similar.
Right.
At all. Like, there's no, like, genetic whatever.
Exactly.
Like, so anybody can be adopted or...
That's not the story that
no,
is
it doesn't matter at all. And we, in fact... don't see, I don't know about you, but I don't see any specific, sometimes I see glimpses, but I don't see any specific race at all.
Just a good thing to mention at this point.
Yeah, or even like height, or, we have little things in there like, my bro, like, one of our characters, Luke, he says, my brother's a little shorter than me, right. But that's like, that obviously that kind of stuff can change. It doesn't matter. It's just a descriptive. Yeah.
So Jordan, I think one of the most fun things about them to write is their interactions with other people.
Yes.
And their relationship to not only their brother, but their school, their principal.
Yes.
And their other friends that they interact with. And I think by far they're the most sort of...
level-headed.
And like mature.
Totally.
We learn a lot from what they have to say.
Yeah. We learn a lot about just humans and just like...
And animals.
And some animals as well.
And butterflies.
For one. For
two.
Yeah. I get it. I get the joke. We're not going to tell you guys.
We're not going to tell you what that means.
But
you're going to have to sign up for the show.
And you're going to have to find out. So, so we have.
So that's two down.
Terrence, right? So we've got Terrence. And we'll get back to Avery. So we've got Terrence.
Right.
And one of the things that I love is that you don't really know who the main character is, because there are several storylines. There's no real main character. It's just pretty much everyone has
their own arc, and you sort of feel for everybody.
Loosely intertwined around. I mean, they're only really intertwined around the essay, but they are loosely intertwined around them, each other, but they are definitely intertwined around the themes that they are individually experiencing.
Is the next one we talk about Brent?
I think Brent, we can go in order. So we got Terrence,
And I don't think we immediately meet Jordan, but
no, but we wanted to mention Jordan
Right.
because it's
Jordan
because
is
they're
very
such
much
an
connected
important
to-
character. Terrence and Jordan, and they live, you know, in the same house, so maybe we'll go by house.
right.
Yeah, you know,
So
we'll go
there's-
by the houses.
So now we have Brent,
So now we have Brenny, who we love.
oh, Brenny, who we love so much.
Brenny, who we love so much. Brenny is a soft-hearted soul, and he is in love. And
His essay, we have decided.
yes,
He is doing an analysis of this painting
this-
by
yeah, beautiful Picasso
yeah.
Picasso painting, and he
Girl Before a Mirror is the name of it.
Yeah, and
So-
it's a lovely
If I want,
painting.
I'll probably put in the image right here
Oh yeah,
when this goes up, so you'll
yeah,
see
so
it.
we can see it. Here it
That's
is.
Girl Before a Mirror. Isn't
Girl
it beautiful?
Before a Mirror, so beautiful. She is indeed before a mirror, and there are different things in the mirror.
Oh yes.
The mirror shows different things that are on the outside
That
of
are
the mirror. It's
not in
very
the mirror.
colorful. You can see it's very colorful, and so
It's very, very colorful.
it's
so
much more colorful than
perhaps
perhaps than Brent considers himself to be,
right,
and he
wants himself to be.
right or both.
Yeah.
You know, he wants to be colorful, and
In that sense,
you know,
we mean he's
choices are difficult to make, Adam.
yeah.
They're very difficult to make, and Brent is, you know, he's just stuck in the middle.
He's closeted.
Yeah, pretty closeted.
He's pretty closeted.
Avery is his best friend.
Avery is his best friend,
Avery's his
and we
best
love
friend.
Avery. She and him have these wonderful interactions.
Yes, yeah.
where they call together.
Yes. Mm-hmm. They have a wonderful FaceTime calls. Avery calls the landline
That Brent's family has.
Brent's family has. They still have a landline because they're, you know, a good
very
old
traditional
American family. So they have his dad's an army guy, and they're you know, very kind of by the book people. So Brent says, and Avery calls the she calls the landline
in order for
Brent's dad to think that he's got. I think I can reveal. I think it's one of my favorite lines. He says, Brent says, Avery's my best friend. She calls the landline so my dad can think I'm a chick magnet, and then we talk about the boy I like.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate bamboozle.
It's the ultimate bamboozle.
It's the ultimate bamboozle, you guys. If there's a landline, if you're
use it to your advantage.
Yeah, use it to your advantage, because apparently this was their, you know, their master plan, their diabolical.
And it
plan.
works for a while.
It works for a while.
So Avery and Brent's storylines are very much matched up. Avery
Yes.
also has a very, very dear friend in Jordan.
Yes, Avery and Jordan are very close, and Avery and Terrence not so much, but Avery and Jordan definitely, and they have a lot of beautiful interactions and conversations, and Jordan kind of helps Avery. Avery's a little scattered sometimes.
Right,
And,
but Avery,
know.
she tries her best to sort of help the people around her.
Yes.
And
And
whether that's a
often forgets
compulsive,
herself.
often forgets herself.
Yeah, and Jordan reminds her.
Yes.
So they have a very cool, very
Sort of
very cool
love.
friendship. Yeah, for sure. Avery is kind of like the thread between a lot of different people in the show. Not everyone, but she is a little bit of a thread between a lot of people.
Yeah.
And so we've got. All right, so we've
got
got
Brent.
Terrence, we've got Jordan, we've got Brent, we've got Avery.
And we learned that Brent's in love.
Yes, and Brent's in love. And Brent's in love. We're not going to tell you with who. There's.
Do we want to meet Luke?
Yeah,
I think
and then
Luke's
we have
next.
the next person that chronologically that we meet is Luke, who we can't give too much away because
You don't want to give away the.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't. So
It's just a little. That's just one of the nugs.
it's a little thing. It's a little nug.
It's just one of the
I don't want to
nugs.
give it away. This is a little thing I don't want to give away. But Luke has the song, and guys.
I am so proud. So I wrote the second song after I wrote the essay was a song for Avery, which has changed a bunch, but it's still remote. It's still mostly the same.
But but the music
still
on
gorgeous.
The beginning is it's great.
And then I wrote a song for Luke.
And you wrote the first part of it. So here's what happened. I'm gonna try and keep this rated G.
It's pretty. No, it's not that bad.
Okay, so
I'm not gonna. Okay, all right.
So Adam wrote the first part of the song.
We knew we wanted to have a character literally obsessed with planes because we have this metaphor of flying and we wanted that to be actually represented. So I wrote a song that was very much like this kid the concept was they love making paper airplanes and they don't know what their essay is going to be about. Yeah. And then one of their paper airplanes hits them in the face and they go, I'm going to write. Right. Oh, that's right. I'm going to write about.
I'm going to write about Wilbur and Orville Wright because it's supposed to be like a historical figure. Like that's what, that was the sort of option,
Right.
Because it's choose your own adventure. That's the theme for the year, you guys.
That's Principal Stevens' theme.
Principal Stevens' theme at Gutenberg High is
Go Felines.
Go Felines.
So we knew that was the concept. So I had written a verse of the song up until the point where he's like
gets hit in the head.
And then
Adam does this thing sometimes where he knows what he wants it to sound like, but he doesn't know the words.
Like the specific word. So maybe you just know the melody and you play it, and then when you sing along to what you want it to sound like, you just go planes something and
something
and there's the planes.
And you talk about the planes and then there's something else and then profanity, a lot of profanity.
Planes to something, and I talk about the planes. This is how planes work, and it's really inspirational, and I'm feeling really great about the f***ing.
And then you put the thing, and then and so.
And then I send it to Julie, and she's crying, laughing.
And it's wonderful. And then I wrote
the rest of the song that was gorgeous and perfect and in no way needed any work.
It worked really well. We barely needed any edits on those lyrics because I think I just went along with like the part where you said like, and you talk about the planes, and I was like, that works. We can do something with that. It's not those actual lyrics are not included in but yeah. So that's Luke, and that's all we'll say for now about Luke.
He doesn't
loves making paper planes.
His character arc isn't enormous.
But he's there.
But he's there, and we love him. He's the best.
Yes, we love him. He's a little jockey, and we like that about him because jocks are always mean.
Sorry, I'm just turning down the gain on the mic because it's clipping a bit.
Jocks are sorry. It's just because I'm loud.
No, it's okay.
Or also probably because I was
banging on the
on the table. Sorry.
Don't be alarmed if your volume went down just a little bit.
Sorry about that. Sorry about the hearing damage that I've inflicted. So
Luke, and then I think next is
So he is. That's what I like about him. He's a little jockey, but he's not mean. Jocks are always mean.
Right. No, he means very well.
Yeah. He's a good kid.
Luke's a good kid.
Yeah.
I know
kid.
Luke's.
And
Lewis Matthew.
Yes, Lewis Matthew.
I love that.
Yes. Then we have, he goes by Luke. His name's Lewis.
Can we skip right to Scooter right now?
Sure. Absolutely.
I want to skip right to Scooter.
I kind of wanted to do the same thing. I'm glad you said that.
All right. So let's skip right to Scooter. Scooter. Right. Oh boy, Scooter.
Oh boy, Scooter.
Oh boy.
Scooter.
This came about because when I was very young, I have a memory of going to Ellen Stardust Diner in New York City, and the waitress called me Scooter because I was just I don't know.
You were a Scooter,
but I wasn't in a wheelchair.
No,
which is what Scooter is.
Which is what Scooter is. So Scooter, nobody gave him that nickname. He just wants people to not feel sorry for him and not feel bad for him. And he's constantly like joking. Like he's constantly like, you know how like stand-up comics.
Yeah. There's a certain self-awareness that is very admirable in Scooter.
Yes. And it's also uncomfortable for everybody else. And he loves it. He loves making people feel awkward.
And despite
about the fact that he's in a wheelchair constantly all the time.
Because the thing with ableist culture, just in general, is the word despite. Yes, the word despite. We've had many conversations about this. Yes,
despite the wheelchair, he is able to.
Right.
Why can't it just be what it is?
Do the thing.
Just call a person what
for example,
they want to be called.
Scooter, like we said, he's popular. He's a great writer, great musician.
He plays sports.
He plays sports?
Yes.
And he's a songwriter.
He's a songwriter. He's great.
And perhaps most notably,
yes,
he is the sole host of a podcast.
Of the podcast.
The podcast.
Yes, and it is the wheelchair guy.
I want to tease the song. Do you want to do it?
Oh my God, please.
Okay,
yes,
that'll happen right now.
Hey, 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 it's the podcast song, the podcast song. Yeah, I'm the wheelchair guy, and you're probably gonna listen to this, cause everybody loves the disabled. Hey, 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 it's the podcast song, the podcast song. I'm the wheelchair guy, and you're probably gonna listen to this, cause everybody loves the disabled. Yeah!
Because everybody loves the disabled.
Everybody loves the disabled, yeah.
So good. I don't know if that's what key it's in, but so good. So beautiful.
She sent in those lyrics as a joke. And I was like, they're exactly perfect. I'm just going to write this song.
That's happened a couple times where I'll just waffle something. I'll just like write something in. Because, sometimes you just need like something to like just exist. And then later you can come back and, fix it or whatever. But this is like, sometimes it just works.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're like, wait a minute, let's just keep this. Because the thing about Adam is that Adam can write something that musically...
Keep talking really nice things about me while I check the phone to make sure it's...
All right, cool.
Keep saying amazing things.
Okay, cool. I will do that. Oh,
delish.
So, it's all right, delish.
I just wanted
so
to...
Adam's great. Adam's so great.
I had a panic attack that it wasn't recording.
No.
I am keeping that in, by the way.
So Adam can do this thing where he can just take whatever and it still will sound like those words were meant to be the words. And that's, I think, what makes a really great
like team
songwriter.
And also just like partnership.
Yes, exactly. Like you can just, I like doing lyrics. I'm more of a book person.
Yeah.
But that's why we and I don't know if you guys know this, but by and large, all the music is Adam's. By and large, all the whole book, all the scenes and stuff are mine, but we collaborate on the lyrics.
Yeah, it's very much like
it's very much back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of times the best thing is like one of us does something and then the other one does a rewrite.
Yeah.
And that's
like, that's the
and that's the best. Yeah. And that's very, very, very cool as well. And I'm always like, I think just today it was something where you were like, oh, I changed it to this, and I was like, that makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
Why did I say it? Why didn't I think of that?
And then it'll be other times where it's like, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Let's change that completely.
Yeah.
I hate that now. And then it's just like, okay.
Yeah. And then it doesn't. Well,
there was one very difficult song, which we'll get to that character at the end. I want to get to them last.
At the end?
Yeah.
Good. That's good. I like that at the end. Okay. So we have.
Okay, we have.
Do you want to do Principal Stevens?
Let's do that now. Oh, that's such a great idea.
We love Principal Stevens.
Okay, we're about halfway through. Because we have.
We're more than halfway through.
We're more than halfway through.
Yeah, we're more than halfway through it because we did Jordan already.
Right.
So Principal Stevens, who does not have a first name, is this really he's just trying to help
He
out.
really tries his best,
He really
you guys.
tries his best. He's very like he tries to like with the lingo and everything, and like the he's trying to make sure that he's.
We all know a Principal Stevens too.
Yeah, I had my
Even if they're not your principal, they are some adult in your life,
yeah
and they try their best, man.
yeah. Just they try to relate to the kids,
And they also try to help you, like genuinely, and
even
just
if it's
they just don't
misplaced.
get it, and it's misplaced. Yeah, exactly.
But it can be very it can be very sweet. It can we needed a character who was going to first of all temper all the kids by being this like sort of over adult sort of figure. There are other adults in the show, like parents and stuff.
Oh, he cracks me up.
But yeah, he cracks me up. But
we do have a moment. I do want to tease this line, this line of stage direction in the dialogue, where
Sure.
after he has a really heartfelt sort of meeting with Jordan,
Yes.
after the first time we meet them, they leave and we have a moment alone with Principal Stevens, and there's a line.
That is the first time we meet Jordan.
That's the first time in the meeting
that
we meet Jordan.
really meet Jordan. Yeah.
But there's a moment after they leave that we have with Principal Stevens, where in the stage direction it says something like Principal Stevens is much more serious when he's alone.
Yeah. When he's not like on because he does these like video addresses. I wanted it to be seen that he's not just this. Often in a show like that where it's about the kids, the adults are
Just kind of-
caricatures.
yeah.
They're caricatures. And you have like this is come in and
Right.
da, da, da. It's kind of like what I like about School of Rock.
Yeah.
is that she's human and they go to this bar and
Right.
she's like remembering the good old days or whatever. I really like that.
Me
and
too.
I like humanizing the adult, and Principal Stevens is sort of like left alone in his office and he looks really like serious, like he really is thinking about all of this. But when he does his like famous video addresses to the kids and he really loves cats. He loves cats, you guys. He really loves cats. A lot. So they, but he's a person like everyone else in the show. He's a person and he's
And there's
susceptible to, maybe what I'm doing isn't working and all
I think
that
that's
stuff.
also a good place to note the sort of way that we play with juxtapositions in the sort of like anachronistic time obsolescence aspect of it.
Explain to the children what you mean by anachronistic time obsolescence.
So
An anachronism is something out of time. Explain, Adam.
So, for example, the landline
Yes.
is not something that is commonly used nowadays, and yet we use it in the show.
Yes.
For
it's
example,
retro.
we also have analog clocks,
Yeah, which are very important.
which are very important.
Because it's a visual.
It's a visual.
Yeah.
And
it's
the
not
other
about
thing-
the number. It's about the picture.
And the other sort of juxtaposition of that retro versus modern that I think we haven't explicitly talked about is the fact that these videos that Principal Stevens sends out are almost not as hip as things like the podcast that Scooter does.
Absolutely not.
Right?
No. It's just his
And they're both ways of,
way of-
addressing,
yeah.
the student body. But for some reason, the podcast is more successful.
I think the reason why the videos, don't work as well is because, Stevens, deep down, I think is obsessed with making sure that he seems like he's perfect. So he wants to be able to edit, and he wants to be able to just
Yeah.
this is the thing that I, how many takes did, the song that we won't mention because it's too funny and cute.
It is too funny, you
It's
guys.
too great.
It's so funny.
Yeah, and
And
we
we
won't
wrote.
mention the
That's
special
one we
guest.
literally wrote together too.
We did in this very room.
Yeah, right over there.
That right over there.
That's
Right over there. We look longingly at the spot. But yeah. So he, he's not a caricature. He's a real.
Yeah.
He's a real. A real.
just
person.
like
So
any
we've
other
got-
kids. You feel for him.
Yeah. Yes. It's everyone has moments in the show where you have a connection with them and you go, oh man,
That sucks.
yeah, like you really feel it. There's no villains. The villain is time.
We were playing around with that early on, and like I didn't think we needed a person.
There's no
like
antagonist.
And there was a moment where it was like, is this too easy? Like, is this too easy for these characters?
I don't think it is because,
But
I mean,
life is hard
the villain
already.
the villain is you. The villain is within.
Right.
The villain.
It's in here.
The villain
It's
is
in between.
always, yes, it's in between. The villain is always within, and so I think that is something that is. Are you okay there? I think that's something that
Because when
What?
the train with the sign and the
Yeah.
you hold up a bigger sign.
Yeah.
Guys, the song that Principal Stevens sings
We love
is
this
just
song.
perfect.
So we've got Terrence, Jordan,
I'm sorry.
Brent, Avery, Luke,
Scooter, Principal Stevens.
Principal Stevens, and then we have a wonderful person whose name is Sal, and he comes in later in the show.
In fact,
Much
much
later.
later.
Much later.
We
in the
sort
show.
of hint about him.
A little bit.
A little bit.
You will see. We don't want to talk a whole lot about Sal because we don't want to ruin it. But
He's very wise.
He's very wise. Yes, he's a wise old owl. And he not an actual owl.
Hopefully the rocking of the table is.
Oh yeah, sorry. I
Too
think it's rustic.
Oh yeah? I just mean
Yeah.
I hope it's not too obnoxious. Like I hope it's not like coming
Sweet.
through.
Oh,
the
that's
mic.
what it's been, you guys. This.
Oh yeah, that's not me farting this whole
No,
time.
that's not us. Like our brains crunching and
Right.
like slowly.
The gears turning.
Slowly, like evaporating. Yeah.
Right.
Slowly, but
Very slowly.
Yeah.
With
so,
Sal.
So we've got
He takes his time.
Sal takes his time getting into the show and getting
And
to
also
things in general.
just getting
Yes,
to
just
thi-
getting
just-
to things in general. And
Because
and
it's just, there it is.
yeah, there it is. I mean, that's time. What is time, Adam?
I don't,
It just
you can't even prove
you can't even
that the
you
universe
don't even know.
just popped into existence last
You
Thursday.
don't even know. Last Thursdayism. You don't even
Look
know.
it up, kids.
Look it up.
Last Thursdayism.
Look it up. So we've got those characters, and then we've got some bit characters where we've got Sylvia, who's Terrence's mom. He calls her Butterfingers.
Right.
You'll find out why. And that's Terrence's and Jordan's mom. And you've got just a couple of other characters. You've got Brent's parents. You've got just little sort of little cameos here.
We
and there,
sort
but
of
they can be
hear
played by-
Avery's parents.
Yes, we hear Avery's people in Avery's family a little bit, but
Right.
we don't really meet them. But just parents like here and there. And now we come to
Sort of.
the point
We've neglected to mention
of the
two specific characters.
two specific characters whose relationship and subsequent plot thickener
Yeah.
is probably the crux of the show, is probably the most heartbreaking thing to experience in the show. The first character that we'll mention, I think, is Harriet.
Mm-hmm.
And Harriet has a I love the name Harriet. Harriet
Do you want to talk about where that comes from?
is there's a lot of little like things that are like just for us.
Everyone's sort of named for a reason.
Yeah, everyone is named for a reason a little bit. Like we were just talking about like Sal. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Salvador Dali and like his painting with the clocks, and they're all like bent, out of shape and stuff. And that's like a little nod. And then we have sort of other characters that are named for different reasons. And Harriet, her name is Harriet Marsh, it was a reverse of Marsh Harrier, which is one of the animals that is a non-binary animal.
Yeah.
So we just looked at, we were looking for names, and we thought, let's use a theme, and even though it doesn't really apply very much to her, she's now Harriet, and we can't go back.
No,
There's
yeah.
no way she
There's
can
no
be
way.
anyone else. There's no way.
It kind of ties into the fact that these characters just they can't exist. Their stories cannot be told without the others.
Without all the others.
Without every one of the others.
Every single one of the other people. Everyone is important at some point.
It's a web. It's a tangled web. It really
it's a
is.
tangled web we weave for sure.
Yeah.
The parachute strings.
Yep.
Harriet is mute, so not a mute, but mute. So Harriet is, when we meet Harriet, she's on like FaceTime with Terrence because they're friends in the show. Not in real life.
Right.
It's like in the show. They're friends in the show,
Yeah.
but IRL,
Right.
they hate each other.
No, they're
They're friends in the show.
Terrence and Harriet are very close.
Terrence and Harriet are close. They're friends, and they, he just sort of, they have these wonderful, there's a lot of ways to communicate in the show, and there are moments where you just see just texts, you just see the text. It's almost like a screen grab, and you just see texts between people. And there are moments where you just see the vantage point of the other person talking in someone's hand on their phone on FaceTime. And there's a lot of
sort of
moments like that of the
choices.
current way that we mostly communicate. We
Is through
communicate
text.
a lot
I couldn't agree more.
Through those things. So so Harriet is mute. She does not speak. We see Terrence sort of on FaceTime speaking to her, and she just types back. She just texts back. And like so many things in the show, it's just accepted. It's just something that is. And you don't necessarily go, oh, that's immediately, it's interesting, it's different. But you don't immediately go,
Think of it as
this is the point of the show. No. It's
No.
kind of like anyone else. It's like Scooter. It's like Jordan being non-binary. It's just
It's like Terrence,
who they are.
who cannot write. He cannot
write.
find his words.
And he's so articulate.
He's so articulate
Speaking.
which is why he's so good for Harriet.
Yeah, because Harriet is the best, arguably the best writer out of the bunch, but she can't speak.
Which sucks because there's a lot that in order for her to get sort of help that she needs, there's a lot that she is unable to express, physically.
Yeah. And she is, she can't really talk about her feelings in real time, with her. There's so much in vocal expression, and there's so much in inflection and how you mean something, and it's
a metaphor we literally take for granted everyday life. Having your voice heard. Raise your voice.
Yeah.
These are using your voice is something that's so fundamental to human nature that it's not something you think about how your quality of life would be affected if it were taken away from you.
Yeah. And
physically,
and we don't really see it as a plot thing right away.
Again, it's just the
because
thing that is.
It's just a thing. It's just something that is. Then we
are introduced.
We are introduced.
To the connection.
Well, there's a connection between Harriet and we would argue the most important character in and I say important because she will be contested. People will wonder what the point of
her.
People will have a lot of questions about Amelia.
And you will too, as a member of our cast.
As a member of the cast, you will have questions, especially at the end. You will have questions because it could be this or it could be that. Especially because the way it's written, is you could interpret certain things a certain way, or you can interpret them completely a different way. And that is something that I think is really cool about writing and about theater, is that you can leave some things up to the viewer or the listener.
Yeah.
You have, especially because you have, you have nuggets, right? You have nuggets.
We give you a lot of
We
nuggets.
give you a lot of nuggets, but like sometimes some of them cancel each other out. So like you'll see something and you'll go, oh, that's what it is. And then in a couple scenes, it's like, wait a minute, but why? So you think you're going to draw your own conclusion, and then, so we won't say a whole lot about Amelia, except for the fact that she is throughout, you will see her throughout the show, and you will only see her interact with one person, which is Harriet. And
directly.
It's directly, and
you see her,
and we won't say when, and we
Right.
won't say why, and because this is really something that needs to be read.
There's a lot to
it's
this
special.
show that like needs to be consumed in like the intended way,
Yeah,
and
I think so. You can't
Amelia.
really ruin it.
There's a lot of care that we took with
Yeah.
telling her sort of tale,
Mm-hmm.
because it's one that needs a lot of care.
Yes. Yeah.
But I
So-
will say, you
Yeah.
know, the one thing I love about her, and like, that will always be my favorite thing about Amelia,
Mm-hmm.
is how, just honest she is.
Yeah.
And how like,
Yeah.
she's very she herself is a very careful individual with her the choices
words.
that she makes and the words that
Finding
she
her
says.
words.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And finding herself.
Yeah.
And everyone and Harriet, you know,
Yeah.
and us as the audience, you know, really trying to find her and understand her.
Yeah, Harriet is our sort of gateway into Amelia. We can get to know Amelia through Harriet.
I know it's probably really tough that we're being so cryptic about it.
Yeah, but we're very protective of it because we so love, I think, the way that it's revealed, the way that certain things are revealed,
Yeah.
and all the things that are not
It's
revealed.
very, very special.
And it's very special, and I think it's special enough to kind of leave that as is. There's a definite, connection. All we'll say is there's a definite connection to Amelia Earhart. Amelia Earhart's...
she's sort of the central outside.
She's the mystery.
She's the, yeah.
And Amelia Earhart, I don't know if you guys know, but like Amelia Earhart crashed when she, I mean, most people know that, but as she was trying to
do a
circumnavigate-
transatlantic flight.
Yeah, no, she was trying to go around the world.
Right.
Yeah. So she was. There's a couple of there's a couple of things about that in the actual show that characters will say. It's Harriet's essay topic. She is writing about what really happened to Amelia Earhart, and she will. I think we
Come
might
across
find
some-
out a little bit about that later on. We'll find out a lot more about what really happened to the
Yeah.
real Amelia Earhart than what really happened to our character Amelia. So that that's the only thing we can really promise. But those
Yeah.
are our, by and large,
That's our characters.
That's our
cast
characters.
of characters.
That's our cast. Yeah.
That's 9,
We
right?
love our cast. We love our cast. Pretty much, yeah, mains. Yeah. And then
That's 9 plus Principal Stevens.
yeah, plus Stevens, and then we've got the sort of other parts and stuff, and in terms of the in terms of different characters being played, like Jordan, we don't have any, like, just to reiterate, we don't have anything in mind. Like,
Yeah.
in terms of, the only thing I imagine about Jordan
Is
is
that
short hair.
Okay. Yeah.
Not necessarily very short, but like just no flowing. That's the only thing I imagine.
I think
Or like a ponytail.
right.
You know? Like no hair on the face. That's what I see. When I see Jordan, I see them with like either their hair up or like shorter. But I definitely see like, I always feel like Jordan like wants to move their hair out of the face all the time.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, for some reason I feel like Jordan needs to have like
I also
luscious
think without
hair.
a shadow of a doubt, Jordan, I think, has to be mint chocolate chip because it's
Ice cream flavor.
it's just sophisticated.
It's okay.
And do you disagree?
I don't know because I don't. Tell me what makes it sophisticated.
Mint chocolate chip?
Mm-hmm.
I have only seen adults eat mint chocolate. Have you? If you're a child eating mint chocolate chip ice cream, evaluate your life.
I hate mint chocolate chip ice cream.
Really?
So much.
I don't mind it.
I hate it. So
I
much.
just think there's a wonderful pairing.
I think it tastes like toothpaste and you had chocolate in your mouth. I think you had chocolate in your mouth and you decided to brush your teeth. That's what I think it tastes like. Okay, but I'll give that to you. All right.
I think Terrence is chocolate. I want to go through these because I think this is fun.
Terrence is just chocolate?
I think maybe
Wow.
some fudge.
I think Terrence. You know what I think?
Yeah.
I think that Terrence,
If anyone is chocolate, it's Terrence.
I think that Terrence is like it looks like chocolate, but then it's got swirl when you dig into it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you like.
Yeah?
The sort of I know. Yeah, exactly
Yeah,
what you're saying.
yeah. So it's like, you know, from the outside, it's like, oh yeah, that's Terry, and inside it's like Renz.
All that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like there's
Renz.
too. Yeah. So like there's other things that are in
Yeah.
there. I think Avery's got to be Rocky Road.
Right.
Very Rocky Road. We can have Brent as Neapolitan.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
because
yeah. Oh,
in
yeah.
between.
Yep. Or then maybe just strawberry.
Maybe.
I
mean, he is very soft, so yeah.
Yeah.
But I like the idea that, like, because he's always thinking about three different things. It's like, you know, it's the thing that it's not enough and he's too much and he feels like he's in between. So I like three next to each other. That's why I like Neapolitan for Brent.
Yeah.
I'm going to fight for that one.
Okay.
So yes, okay. Avery, Rocky Road, and
I literally think I don't know.
I think Harriet is a sorbet. What?
Okay.
I think Harriet
right.
is I think Harriet
What,
is
like orange creamsicle?
Yes. Like a fruit.
Yeah.
She's a fruity flavor.
Yeah.
I think. I don't
Okay,
know. I
yeah.
think she's a fruity flavor.
Yeah. I think Luke is a
Amelia
milkshake.
is Dippin' Dots.
And I think Luke is a milkshake.
Luke is just any flavor.
Just any flavor.
Any flavor.
But it's got to be blended.
It's got to be. It's like the kitchen sink milkshake.
Right.
So just a bunch of crap that's just was
the-
laying around. Just an onion.
The chef's delight milkshake.
The chef's delight.
I went to an ice cream place one day.
Oh God.
And I got an ice cream flavor that was like the one that's like different every day. That's like
Like the
whatever.
special.
I forget what it's called, but it was something really dumb. And I want to find out.
Oh my goodness.
I want to find out so bad what that was called.
Yeah.
It was called the...
It would be great if you knew what it was called for the listeners.
Right. Is my phone over there?
That would be great. Your
Shoot.
phone is recording this, Adam.
Right. My
Adam
phone
Dorfman, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Oh,
It's on the
fantastic.
tip of my tongue.
So they maybe will, if we talk about something else, it'll.
Right.
So Terrence is chocolate, but if you dig in, there's like fudge ripple,
Fudge ripple.
fudge ripple,
And
and Avery's Rocky Road, and Harriet is orange sorbet, What?
The Wild Fang.
Oh my god.
That's what it was called.
That's Principal Stevens. He was the Wild Fang.
It's the Wild Fang.
The Wild
Because you get something different
Because you get something different
time.
every video. Every video gets something different. Everything is on theme.
Right. I think
theme.
Sal is still working on his dinner. I think Sal's like French fries.
I think Sal is like appetizer right now.
Right.
Sal's on his way to the
Like
restaurant.
mozzarella.
Sal will be there in 5 minutes, you guys.
Right.
But like
He's like chewing the piece of gum before you get there.
Yeah, he's just, he's got a palate cleanser. He's got to cleanse your palate, so you
Right.
can't.
It's like oatmeal.
Yeah.
That's Sal.
Sal's still taking a nap before he leaves and goes and, goes to the place.
The palate cleanser.
He's so we don't know what his flavor is. Yeah. Amelia's Dippin' Dots. Okay, Jordan Smith chocolate chip. All right.
Who are we missing? Scooter?
Scooter
is like
Scooter's got to be something like.
Do you know that?
You know what I think Scooter is? Hear me out.
Okay.
Vanilla. You want.
Please explain, because I was not going to say that.
Why Scooter is vanilla? Because you expect him
Right.
to like be like, oh, crazy, and he goes, no, dude, vanilla's my jam. Because he always wants to be something that, he doesn't want people to just like, oh, he's the wacky guy. And he's like, no, I don't want to be the anything guy.
Because he's a complex person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody's that's the worst offense, right?
Yeah.
Is I think that something that you learn about when you write a show about people, which is every show. Is that in life the biggest offense you can do is not imagine everybody you meet complexly. Everybody that you meet every day has their own complex, which are at least as complex, if not more complex than your own thoughts.
Yeah, and everyone has like their outward persona, which that's what you get. So the way that you interpret someone is
only based on that.
And then what happens is people forget that, everyone takes them in from the outside. And you take someone in based on who you are and based on your own experiences. And so
we all make choices based on our own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And when you assume something about someone, they might feel like, oh, is that the vibe I'm putting up? No. Mostly it's who
it's
the other
reflection
person
of
is.
them.
Yeah. We really like to categorize people. Like that's how we do, like when we watch a show and we see that there's two characters that maybe, maybe.
Is there something happening?
Is there something happening there? There's a moment like that in the show where we think maybe, and it's like, no, not what we thought. But
there are multiple. I will say
moments.
multiple of those.
Yeah, where you think that something is going to happen and it just doesn't, and it's not because you want to go against the grain, but it's because that's how life tends to be. It's very rare that things will actually pan out. So I like the idea that I always hated it, like when I was a kid watching TV and like, it's like it's like a pivotal moment and like, or like they kiss or whatever and then it like fades out.
It's almost like we've had many conversations where it's like unsatisfying to us when things resolve.
Yeah.
And
or like
musically or plot wise.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like
it's easy.
Yeah.
It's too easy.
It's like too easy.
It's too easy. It's like it doesn't force you to imagine what could have been. The what if. We were saying this earlier, right? Like what if, the reason why the what if is the question that you ask yourself is that's the question that you want to ask the audience. That's the one that you want them to ask themselves.
That's the best part, I think, about the way that we've conceived the show.
Sure.
Is that like there's a lot, the essay happens. It does happen in the timeline of the show. There is the deadline. Mm-hmm. And there's one essay that we get, like that we hear. There's one essay that we get to actually experience. Like we actually see, we actually get to intake parts from the actual written
essay. We will not tell you which one, but we do get to experience that. But the process, we see a lot of process. We see a
and
lot
that's
of process.
the most important thing,
And that's
because
the most
life
important
is a
thing.
process. There is no end.
And we don't the finished product is not the point. The finished product is not the point. It's like, it's a little cliche, but it's, what's happening during. It's like that thing I was saying earlier where you're always waiting for the next difficult thing.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, next week is going to be better. And then next week comes and you're not enjoying it because you're waiting for next week, which will be difficult. So it's like, what is, what's important? Is it the actual finished product, or just, you can think about, whatever you think happened. Okay. Like,
Yeah.
maybe that's what happened. And that's kind of how we leave the end. We won't talk about the ending. We
No,
love
yeah.
the ending. We have argued a little
Yeah.
about the end. Well, amicably.
We have
yeah.
not gotten to fist fight.
We have not gotten a fist fight yet. But amicably
Yeah.
argued about the ending, where it was, we kind of toyed with leaving it up to the cast. Leaving it up to the actor. Leaving it up to the actor completely, because the way that the ending is played, we're so excited about this and we're not going to tell you.
Yeah.
The way that the ending is played can resolve the show in the burning question in the show, or not resolve it. And we talked about, wouldn't it be cool if it was up to the actor? So we won't say which, and we won't say how, and you can probably maybe guess that it has something to do with whatever.
something.
But it's a cool thing that I think you don't see a whole lot.
Right.
Yeah.
And as interesting as this show, this process of writing it has been, it is fun, it is funny,
Yeah, it's
and
awesome.
it is dark.
Yeah.
It's
It's as light as it is dark.
if you've
It's
heard
what
us,
I really love about it.
if you've heard me talk
Yeah.
talk anything about the show, you've heard me say it's gonna hurt,
It's gonna hurt.
but like it's a
You're
hurt.
gonna hit the ground.
It's a hurt that we need, man,
Yeah.
because it feels good to hurt,
Yeah.
and this show is gonna feel real good.
Feel real good. Yeah.
I think
What do you think?
it feels good to write. Definitely feels good to have written.
Oh my God, yeah, absolutely. This is we've had several moments in this process where I think we probably, like, separately, we haven't actually really discussed this, but like separately, I know we've thought, oh, we can write shows.
This is something we can do.
Yeah,
we got it.
We can write shows. This is not like, it's never felt to me like this is the show we're gonna write. It felt like this is a great first show, but like it doesn't feel like a first show. It feels like a whoa, this show. Like that's what it.
I don't
feels
like. Okay, all right. So, I mean,
you gotta
whatever.
think about it that way. You have to try and think about it that way.
we're not
but-
being, because like if you're creating something,
Yeah.
don't judge us for being like all proud of our stuff.
You have to be proud of your stuff.
If you're not excited
have
about
to
the stuff
love
that
your
you
work.
make,
Yeah.
then like what are you doing?
What are you doing? Why are you doing it?
Because it's like, I heard the creator of Rick and Morty.
Okay.
His name is Dan Harmon. I
Yeah,
feel like you would
yeah.
love him.
Yes, I do. I know. Yeah.
I've heard him talk about how he got asked the question, are you like shocked, like are you surprised about how much the show resonates with people? And it's like, well, I'm thrilled, but I'm not surprised.
I mean,
because
I wrote it that way.
it's like, duh,
like
of course I love it. Like,
Yeah.
like when you show people,
that's like the quintessential interview question,
Right.
though. Like, are you surprised that the thing you wrote to be cool turned out to be cool? No.
like, no, because I wrote it to be
I wrote
cool.
it to be cool.
Like when you show
what are
people
you
things
talking
that
about?
you make that are cool.
Yeah.
You're not shocked. You're
No.
thrilled.
No,
And
you're like,
amazed that people
yes,
love it.
I was
it's
right.
like, of course.
Yeah.
Thank you for seeing it.
for
because
seeing what I saw when I was writing it. This is the thing that
I think,
saw.
and that's really, I think, the point we want to make is that
Yeah.
like we're just so incredibly excited to have
Yeah.
this be shared.
Yeah. and to like have real people, not just, you know, that we are like, I don't know, selling the rights to or something, or people that we are, but people that get input, you know?
That's one thing we know about this show is that,
Yeah.
like, even when it's, like, done, it's not done until
Yeah,
we
no,
have
it's never
other
done.
eyes on it.
There are always other rewrite. All writing is rewriting,
Yeah.
Adam says, and there are always rewrites. There are always ideas. There are always moments where you go, oh, that, you know, that is better, because you always think, like, when you write, a lot of things are like, oh, we have to have this, but there have been so many things where we've said we can't have this anymore.
Yeah.
Because it was usurped by something we needed. And that's what happens when you ask what if. Because when you ask what if, you're shown the entirety of what you could do. But when you ask, oh, maybe I can do this, you feel like you're beholden to that thing. And you don't have to be.
Right.
You know, we've had so many funerals. You know, so many.
And they were all
You know,
necessary.
for things that
And I'm
we
grateful for all of them.
loved and we couldn't do because they didn't fit into the greater
Story
fabric
we
of what,
needed to tell.
that we needed to tell, of what we needed to do, and everything. And here's why I don't mourn them at all, because just like the essay, the point is the writing. So the point is actually, I'm smiling. The point is the writing. So all that stuff we wrote, even though you don't use all of it, we wrote it. And that's the entire process is so much more important. Like, I know it's like cliche, like it's the journey or whatever, but
It
everything
really
that
is.
gets written exists.
Yeah.
Everything that gets written, it doesn't exist more or less than, you know, it's than something that gets performed. If you write something, it's like when people say that, you know, if you have a hobby, like you don't count as like a painter if you don't sell your painting.
That's-
Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just so weird to me. Like, why does it need, again, not plugged in. Why does it, anyway, shut up. But why does it need to be based on like a monetary, like, why does it need to be that? It doesn't need to be that. So it's doing the work. You know, it's like doing the work. The work has been the most important part of it, and it's like we want to continue doing that,
Right.
just like with you guys. So
Right. We're creative people, and you're a creative person, you're creative people,
Yeah.
and that's what we're doing.
yeah,
That's like what this is. That's what it's
the
about.
show.
Okay.
All right,
So, thank you for watching.
that is our first podcast.
That was our first podcast.
We will have more.
There will be more
There will
as
be
the
more.
process happens.
Yes.
You will be hearing from us in addition to the once a week scheduled times that we will also be meeting
Yeah. At
in person,
yes,
social distanced,
masks.
masks.
You will have your own. I have procured individually wrapped bug repellent wipes. So
that is adorable.
yeah.
I
so
didn't
that
know
you,
that.
Yeah, so that you guys can stay mosquito free
And
in
outside.
the hot summer evenings. It's gonna be great.
I know you guys are hurting. The Zoom, I know we're all over
We're
it.
zoomed out.
So
too.
we didn't want to do it.
We didn't want to do that.
So that's why, that's probably the most exciting thing.
And we get along okay.
Yeah. Day to day.
So just keep it moving.
Right.
But we but
Keep it
we
moving
have
on.
an easier time, I think, just talking
Yeah.
and thinking about what people might want to hear about and have questions about than like requiring people to. There is something to be said for that. It is important, but we also are zoomed out. So that's why we thought this would be a cool idea, especially since it's in the show. Scooter has a podcast in the show. So we kind of wanted to be cool, like Scooter. Scooter's
Yeah.
very cool. And we are
Scooter's
not as
so
cool.
cool.
We're not as cool. We're not as popular. Not nearly as popular as he is. Very popular.
You just want to be Scooter so bad.
You want to be Scooter, man.
He's so
Wait till you guys.
he's so
Oh,
well spoken
man.
and
He's just
poised and
Great. He's great. He's great. I want to be
Everyone's
friends
great.
with him. Yeah, everyone's great. Everyone's great.
I
That
cannot
is
wait
true.
for you guys
wait.
to meet them
Yes.
and be them.
Yes. we are already them in their heads.
We are all.
I mean,
we are
in their
everyone.
heads, in
Yes,
our heads,
in
and
our
in
heads.
their heads.
Yeah.
But
We are them.
We can't wait to share these very real existing people.
Yeah.
Because why should it not be real if it's
In your
happening inside your head?
Yep.
All right.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching
Goodbye.
and listening. Bye-bye.
Cool.
That was pretty fun.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I think that went really well.
How long was that?
An hour and a half.
Oh, perfect. That's great. So
Nice.